It's 4:58 a.m. So Maynard says, I think he said he wakes up at 3:30 a.m. to get into the shop. This guy is the hard worker. The whole team, I think they start pretty dang early. So we're normally, I like to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm not, but I go to bed at like midnight usually, or 1 a.m. So tried to get to bed a little bit earlier so we could get onto their time schedule. And this is Utah time, so we got about 4 a.m. Utah time, and we're headed in. It's a little bit later out here. But we're gonna get in early, get this factory tour going, and we're super excited to meet up with them, the team, and just get the whole rundown, see how everything is working. So stay tuned, we're gonna be there in a bit, and super excited about this. Good morning.
I got it.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's walk let's head over there. There's a lot of look at this. There's just a lot of pieces that are going into building the trailer. It's very impressive. I'm excited to go through the whole kind of like the beginning to end of the assembly, but the just seeing each piece that goes into it, it's like pretty cool. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. So you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Brian Miller, production manager here at Paws.
Okay.
I've been here for about 4 or 5 months now.
Okay.
It's getting going. So.
But you started in
Puma.
In Puma.
I was there for 10 years.
Okay, so you
coming here. So
okay, perfect. So
I've been working with Maynard for a little over 10 years now. So.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So we're now in the production facility, and this is kind of where everything starts.
Yep.
Well, tell us what happens over here, and then it kind of starts working.
Yeah, absolutely, we can walk over here. So on this is our chassis station. We bring it in. First things we do, we put the axles on.
Okay.
Our MORryde axles and suspension system. Then we'll do the diamond plate, and basically all tanks, plumbing, wiring, everything is in this station here.
Okay.
And then we'll roll it over. We'll do all the testing, and then the day following we'll do the floor.
So the tanks are going over these still.
Yes. So this is actually
aluminum.
our fresh tank. It's got a very solid foundation.
Wow.
Our entire fresh tank. So the black tanks we actually have, so they're actually made to hang from the side, not from the bottom. They'll sit here and here.
Okay.
We'll have a black and gray tanks in the back here.
That's incredible. Those support beams, those are pretty thick.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I've seen some trailers where it looks like they almost put, what is it, that strapping that holds lumber together?
1/8 inch, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
1/8 pieces of metal. And I've seen those fall out of the...
Yeah, no, this is not falling anywhere.
That is really, really robust. And it's hooked right up to the frame right here, bolted. So you MORryde makes the frame.
Yes.
Which we're gonna be visiting MORryde tomorrow. Which is really exciting. And then, so once it gets here, you throw the tanks in, and then we move over to
here.
Okay.
So on this station, we'll do the floor set. We'll do our pass-throughs. So right now, this is actually all ready to set the floor. So the next morning, we'll make sure there are no leaks. We'll have it set overnight, water and everything. And then we'll do a Manus bond. This is our adhesion.
Okay.
So we'll put that all the way through. We'll set the floor down, and then we bolt and screw everything down.
And it looks like this is insulated.
Yes.
Which I was originally not aware of this. What is this? How thick is this?
This is 1 inch insulation.
Okay.
It's like a residential
wall insulation that you put
insulation. So around the edges, we will actually add a pseudofoam just to seal off every area to make sure all corners are covered with insulation.
Better than some supposed Four Seasons trailers that I've seen over the years.
Yes.
Because they put like that corrugated plastic skin. And they call it
reflection.
And maybe a little. This is this is inch thick actual insulation. So yes. I imagine this is with some heat ducts. This thing is going to be more than enough insulated. Absolutely. And what is this? This is the freshwater tank.
Yeah, freshwater tank, 76 gallons.
Yeah, that's a massive tank.
Plenty.
Yeah, and then you also have your baffles in there.
Yeah, to prevent from collapsing down.
Yeah, that's.
Some of the smaller tanks do not have that, but we definitely wanted to add that in there to make sure and I can stand on there and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. And then we have our black and gray and all some wiring we got through here. And then what is the tank doesn't go in yet?
Not yet, no. We'll be
Okay.
adding that later.
Yeah.
Which is from underneath, secured on these, which is directly to the frame, and our 12-gallon air tank.
12-gallon. It has a 12-gallon air tank. I want to see that later at some
Yes.
Oh, it's right here.
We actually have it sitting here.
Yeah, look at this thing. That's like, if you want to do like air tools, compressor tools, fill up your truck tires, that's a 12-gallon air tank.
At 120 pounds pressure.
At 120 pounds pressure. That's insane. So those coming out of the wheel chock. So we had some confusion and there was just some programming stuff that was changed up, but the airbags didn't fill up as fast as we thought. And so we didn't realize there was a tank, but there is a tank, and they kind of reprogrammed it to make them go up faster now.
So it uses pressure from the actual compressor motor and from the air tanks to blow up your airbags.
Well, and so this is where you're going to get that 120
yes.
PSI right out of the
There's one
side.
on each side. Yep.
So yeah, so you're going to actually, that's going to be better than almost any Overland air tank on the market because you have 12 gallons.
You can blow up your tires, you can blow up your inner tubes, your bike tires, whatever you need.
Yeah, that's insane. Like truck, you're like if you're off-roading and you take your truck out, your Jeep, whatever, you come back to camp, you just like so fast. 120, 12 gallons. I don't even know what a truck tire, how many gallons it is.
Not sure on that.
Yeah, but super fast.
Absolutely. And it's automatically regulated, so if you release some air, the compressor will kick in, blow that back up to 120 pounds.
That's really cool. So they're going to be putting the floor on. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this floor material before it goes on?
Yes. Slide in here. Almost. So this is actually a 3/4 inch composite floor.
Yeah, fiberglass.
Fiberglass.
Inside, outside. Yeah. This is bonded, right? In the way that it can.
Actually, basically, they take this fiberglass plastic sheet, whatever. I'm not sure what the composite actually of this is. It's more of a plastic fiberglass.
Yeah.
So they'll actually melt everything together. It's not this center foam with an adhesion and then set on top.
Yeah.
So they'll fill the two layers going in and they heat it up and actually melt it together. To prevent delamming.
So there's no
solid piece.
No delamination. And this company that makes this is the Transcore, right?
Yes, Transcore from Ridge, Ohio,
Yeah, from Ohio. And supposedly this is the best composites on the market that I'm aware of. Is that what I understand?
Yes.
And pretty strong?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Tell us what you guys have done with it a little bit.
Well, from my experience handling it around, just from setting the floor, it's there's a little bit of sway in there, but it is just solid.
Yeah.
Nothing like a 3/4 plywood or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, a piece of plywood this long, well, this doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
And like, you guys did some strength tests, right? Is that what I...
Yes, we did. I actually was not around for that.
Oh, okay,
Test. But I did see the videos with the sledgehammer and all that.
Yeah, so this is the stuff they were hitting with sledgehammers.
So the sledgehammer was actually the sidewall composite. I'm pretty sure they did strength tests on this as well, but I'm not too in the details on what they did on the floor itself.
Okay. So
sidewalls, yes.
Sidewalls, which is the same material.
It's just a hair thinner.
Yeah.
Which we have the extra support on the floor, on the frame.
Yeah, it's because you have the whole entire the aluminum frame, so you don't really need
the inch
because the 1.5 inches is the ceiling, but that spans the whole length of the trailer with no supports.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and this
one full piece.
This is going to be laying on all of the essentially the frame, the studs of the 100%. Frame. So it's if you were to go any thicker, it'd just be totally overkill.
Yeah.
And how many people did you have standing on that roof? When
I believe it was upwards of 10.
10
crazy.
Adult.
10 adults.
All standing along the roof.
Yeah.
And so all of these holes, how do they drill these holes?
So these all come in CNC'd actually.
Okay.
These holes coming in.
So it all comes in CNC'd, so everything's always consistently going in the same spot. Okay. Yes. Well, that's great. We'll let them get to...
Go ahead, guys. So eventually we're going to be putting a hoist in here.
Okay.
Just, we're not quite sure on the stations yet, but we'll have suction cups. We just can't wait for that. Suction cups, pick it up, set it back down.
It's amazing that doesn't even give much flex right there. Yeah, my dad's a builder. That piece of plywood, that would have just snapped right in half.
You'd be flopping everywhere.
Down.
We actually have metal pieces for a jig, so we can just slide it up against it, set it down.
You know exactly where it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Takes the guesswork out of it.
So one of the things he was mentioning too is this is a brand new facility. You guys just purchased this entire. How big is this place?
Square foot, I'll have to get that around.
Did he say 30,000? Is that?
Oh, that
big?
probably is close. Actually, I think it should be a little bit more, but I can get that actual number for you.
That's fine, but it's a new facility, so typically they would have some lifts or hoists with suction cups that would hold this and drop it down. But you know, brand new product line. They decided instead of putting it in, I guess, another plant with Puma or another Palomino, they wanted to have a totally fresh start, right? I think that's what Maynard has been really pushing is like
with the culture that we're working on and the brand new style.
Oh yeah, that was the one thing we were talking. Maynard was talking so much yesterday about, like, you know, he didn't just want to like make a better trailer, but it was essentially from the ground up as a company. The culture, the team, the processes, the product, and it makes sense why it's like, let's get a whole new building and you know, not get influenced by anything.
Absolutely. And it is to come with the hoist and everything once we get everything set up the way we need it. That is to come.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. You guys are trying to be very lean right now and operate it the way you are 100%. Until you get things flowing really good. And I think that's allowing them to be able to make pivots really fast on the fly.
Absolutely, yes.
Because once you get everything kind of set, you want to kind of stick to the process. Those look like 3-inch. Almost look like 3-inch bolts, lag.
Those are 5/16 bolts. What does it say on there?
I covered
it up. So I believe it's a 2.5-inch 5/16 bolt, the countersink to go down to the floor. Everything's bolted down.
And he's putting that directly into the actual
frame.
Into the
actual frame. Yep.
So he's bolted. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good. So they'll actually bolt that right into the aluminum frame. And then once you actually put in the channels and the walls, it's going to hold it tight.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us what's happening here. They're bringing, this is the chassis which comes from Moride, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So the entire suspension system and chassis come from Moride. So as you can see, everything is pre-drilled. All holes are there, ready for us.
Okay.
So we'll bring it in. We'll jack up these axles, line them up. So basically, to line them up is basically just set them up to the hole and secure it.
And actually, you're not putting that bolt just into the aluminum. There's a plate inside here that is actually.
Yes. So actually, behind here, if you stick your finger in there, you can actually feel there's actually a backer. And so tomorrow at Moride, they'll actually show you. It's actually very cool how to do it. They'll have a plate with these nuts.
Nuts. I see it in there.
So they'll slide it in with a magnet, set it in there, line it directly up, and then attach it.
That looks like 1/2 inch, 1/4 to 1/2 inch, with threaded. That's really cool.
Well, he's not just going into the beam. He's actually going into
another structural plate.
And then also all our, if you see up top here, all the airlines are all SharkBite fittings.
Okay.
So all the connections are at one location. So all the airlines come back to here, get hooked up to here. That's for the entire suspension system.
Oh wow, so it's really easy to access it right here.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a standard, actually, Airline SharkBite. You could get it, you use it on semis, stuff like that. You can get it at a truck stop.
Okay.
So let's say something would happen.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Oh, that's really cool. So standard semi truck fittings, so you can be able to replace that or have backups, worst case scenario.
Yep. And let's say one of the airbags does happen to blow going down the road, or something would happen to it.
Yeah.
Inside here, there is a rubber bumper.
Yeah.
So it won't just drop down and tear up your wheel.
Okay.
So that'll actually, you can go a couple more miles if there's something like that.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Okay. We were talking about that over in the Garmin because we were asking what's the redundancy, and he mentioned, so if you ever had that, so that's really cool to know.
Right on.
And then, so this is where we showed already, this is the water tank right here. That bar is so thick and robust, Maynard. Do you think you could have done a smaller one?
Nah, once it gets full of water, we don't want it to break on the trail.
That's good. I'm just kidding. Oh wait,
Especially when we take it out to Moab and start dragging the bottom on it.
we had a trailer of a competitor brand that the water tank, we filled it up and it just fell out on the ground.
Wow.
Brand spanking new trailer. Never even been used. Just built it all the way up and the whole tank collapsed.
So loud.
Yeah, right on the ground. Not one of your trailers.
Right.
It's pretty incredible. What are these
Just
for?
open it up.
That support there is for the stabilizers.
Oh, look at that.
Where the stabilizers are lagged into.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's really robust.
So all our stab jacks, everything is plug and play.
Okay.
And we'll just do the waterproof plug and play and lay an entire wire harness in there.
Oh wow.
One piece.
And it just all runs right in there.
Yep.
And then this is your stabilizers right under there, and the diamond plating right there. Just super clean. I love the aluminum.
But the whole underbelly gets covered with the diamond plate thing.
Yeah.
This particular portion is just on because they mount the stabilizers
Yeah.
before we receive them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. And then this is your this is the back that
The storage area. So
thing.
our subfloor is sitting on top of here.
Yeah.
Actually. And bumper mounts directly to the frame. Right here.
Okay. And this okay, that's the that's for the bumper.
That's for the bumper, yeah.
Wow, so that bumper is integrated all the way down
Into the
frame.
all the way into the frame. That looks very robust.
And these right here are as well right into the frame. You could literally pull this out from using that.
This actually goes farther inside here. It's not just bolted onto here. This part that comes in actually goes into the tube.
Okay, and this is for a manual crank to be able to put the stabilizer jack. And that's what we were asking to Moride about, if there was overrides to crank things up if you ever needed to.
Did they mention about the manual pump for the airbag?
No, I think they mentioned,
for the actual chuck.
Oh yeah, right here. So right
underneath there.
Oh, look at that. So
That's like the standard air chuck. You can pop it on there.
Yeah, just like on a tire right there. See that? There's a cap on it.
So if the onboard air compressor were not to work, you can take a portable air compressor and pump up your suspension that way.
Yeah, but he mentioned if your compressor failed, you have a 12-gallon tank that puts out 120 psi right there. So you could potentially just plug that in,
blow it up,
and at least use some of that air before you're out. You know. And most people that are off-roading and overlanding, you need a pump for your truck tires, so hopefully you have a compressor. That's really cool though, and easy right there.
One thing I discovered on this coupler that I didn't know, you actually can leave this in a down position and it'll latch. When you put
So when it drops it.
into your truck, it pops up by itself, latches
back up again.
So you have to take it up and to unlock it. So when you want to hook up, you can leave it in a down position.
Says easy.
Demco.
It says easy latch. There you go.
Yeah.
That's probably why they call it the easy latch.
Right.
And then this is
well, this is just basically used to hook up the trailer. Because once this gets a little bit looser, when you're backing up your truck, you don't want this thing to be
moving
going any which way, or you're going to have a heck of a time getting on your truck.
Yeah.
So this is just to be utilized when you're hooking the unit up.
Yeah, that makes
sense. You want
sense.
to lock it into place, but after the unit is hooked to the trailer,
then you pull it back.
Pull it back and you're ready to go.
Drive it, articulate it.
But then it gives you that articulation.
Yeah, and then this is really important to notice that the frame goes all the way through back and attaches through here, right?
Yeah, the attachment point's all the way back through here.
Yeah.
Well, you look on this frame, there's no welds on the frame anywhere. Everything is a huck riveted.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about any welds tracking.
Any welds or any human error in the weld, right? With that. It's really cool.
And this here is just bracing for our LP tanks.
Okay. For some
Once we
support.
put our box up top, yeah. And the LP tanks, there's a pan that the LP tanks sit in that gets bolted to
Okay.
for support for the LP tank.
Look how
Okay.
I believe that's aluminum as well.
Well, the standard is it has to. You remember, Brian? It has to be 3 times the weight, any which way to withstand it.
I think so.
That feels very robust to hold the.
Okay.
This is a 2x8.
2x8 tubing.
This frame is massive looking. This is absolutely just overkill.
You want to lift it up?
Built to last for your grandkids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it's overkill?
Not if you take it over 6-foot ramps.
This will take you up the rocks in Moab.
Yes, it will. And back down.
And back down. Backwards too. Forward or backwards. Okay, shall we go this way?
Absolutely.
It's really fun to see the trailer like this. I don't think a lot of people realize, probably new for some people, I've never seen a trailer being built.
So that's another thing, like if you were at a campground and you were actually utilizing that, you could run it up through this pipe so you wouldn't have to leave the door open. Well, one of the challenges I gave Brian is I said, I want this unit to be built in such a way, if we were to tear a cabinet out, it looks just as good behind the cabinet as it does in front of the cabinet.